Hello, YouTubers. This is a new session with my dear friend here, Shri Jagadithan, to basically put together a continuation to evolve an existing library that Shri and I kind of built together and evolved over the past few months to basically allow people to develop systems or pipelines, build pipelines and C sharp. So if you go back a little bit in our session here, we talked in the past. If YouTube is working today, did we break YouTube? I think we broke YouTube. So okay, so here it is. So yeah. So so in a previous session, Shri and I went ahead and said, okay, this is A.NET, and we said we're gonna add, GitHub capability to it. So we basically went and said, okay, we want to add, our ability to generate for GitHub, the build pipeline. A.NET, was a library that was only tailored towards Azure DevOps, and we evolved that a little bit. Wow, for 4,600 downloads. That's not too bad, Shrey. Do you think? I think
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
not
not
too
at
bad
all.
at all.
People are
Yeah.
enjoying writing C sharp.
Yeah, yeah. So writing C sharp, our last release got like 1,500 hits about 3 months ago. That's not too bad. And given that it's not as popular yet, I was just introducing it to a bunch of engineers on the OData Neo project, and they were pretty impressed with it. We're even like looking at it and taking that model and turning an OData query into a simple JSON, C sharp, serializable, deserializable, component. So what is the next step? Of course, software engineers like Shri is not the kind of engineers that you want to kind of tell them, hey, let's go build something, and stop there. The evolution and continuous innovation and growth is systematic and intentional into everything we do. So, about God knows how long, about, a couple of months ago, Shri, came back and she said, well, we want to also add the release in there. So right now you're doing the build, and that's great. Like if you guys look at a simple project that we have here, like O triple S, I just updated this build project yesterday.
Yep,
This here,
version is updated.
yeah, this here is the build step, right? But there's more steps. So I was talking to a bunch of engineers from Nepal this morning. It was really early for us. It was like 4 in the morning here in Seattle. It was around 6 p.m. for them. And there was people from other countries, from Germany and all. And I was just explaining to them the pipeline. You start from an idea, you do some design, and then you
Hmm.
start building resources. And then you go into source control, you kick off GitHub Actions to kick off the build and test. We do have that provision piece, right, Shri?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
building, but the missing piece is the release. How do I
Hmm.
take that? So I built resources and I built binaries. How do I put, that stuff, like whatever is in here, into here? Right?
Yep.
And you can't take that step until that step is done first, and then whatever is built in here will get released into this. It's a funny kind of equation. Then the last step is basically the market, which is, like I said, this is entrepreneurial, innovative engineering. This is beyond code and beyond DevOps and beyond, architecture and design. But that's a story for another day. All right. So how do we do that release stuff? Right. So Shri, I remember a while back you were talking about Visual Studio,
Hmm.
generating that file for us
Yep.
automatically outside of the box. So I want to try this out. So I'm going to open up OSSS here, and
Hmm.
you're going to teach me, right? You're going to teach me today how to do that. Okay.
Hmm.
She's going to show me how to do the stuff. So let me just increase the font here on my screen so people on their phones can see what we're cooking. All right. So here is, let's see here, Sherry. This is exciting. Are you excited? I'm excited.
Oh yeah, it completes the whole cycle, right? And we
This
enjoy
is it.
everything
This
together. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the last step there. This is the last step. What else is left? Nothing. We have the whole life cycle of software development, and it's all C sharp. So Shri, that basically means literally from the
Mhm.
moment we create models to the
Yeah.
moment we go into the market, it's all C sharp. It's
Yes.
all C sharp. Oh, I
Mhm.
love that. I love that. So this is the missing piece. This is the missing piece in the puzzle. So okay, so I have this OSSS Web API, right? And let me go into the master branch here just so we know we're in the latest and greatest. There's, I'm going to sync up in here. And we want to create a release pipeline. So let's see if I can do this in here. So if I do right click like this,
Yeah.
right, and I go and say
And publish.
publish, yeah, and then maybe let's see here. We can basically go and say workflow is running. Nice. So let's see what is this all about. Settings, .NET YAML. So it adds it also to the .NET YAML. Is that what it's doing? Like it goes into the
Mhm.
same file such as the
Yeah.
build?
So it creates that file which you can later on check in for the trigger.
Really? Well, that's fascinating. Okay, let's see here. So this is a workflow is running. So do I create, this is SQL Service. This is saying, this is a service dependencies. If you want to deploy SQL Service database dependency with connection ID, right? So if I add that in there, it'll tell me which connection ID you want to add. Do you see this dialog, Shri? This little
Yeah, I
dialog?
can see that. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Oh, thank God. Because on StreamYard, it doesn't let you do that. That was
Mm.
kind of bothersome for me. So what we really need here, because the provision is already creating the database, you don't actually need that connection because we already add that in this step here, Shri. So the
Hmm.
step of adding the connection string, we already have that stuff in the let's see there, see database connection string. So we don't really need that part, but the part that we really need is the release part, right?
Yeah.
So let's see what are we gonna do about that. Let me refresh this real quick, and then I'm assuming we want to add a new flow,
Yeah.
and then here is Azure, and then Azure App Service Windows. Let's do that. And then, but this is gonna create a publish profile, right? Or is it gonna actually create something for us?
Both together.
Both? Okay, nice. I like that. Let's do that. Let's add a new resource group. O triple S resources. And I can, of course, pick up an existing one if my provision
Hmm.
project is running.
Yeah.
But we can work with this. And so wait, this is the name of the app. So let me call it O triple S dot API. Okay. And this is my resource group. I need a new resource group. So let's call it O triple S resource group. And then the hosting plan, I can go here and say, give me OSSS API. So now it's going to be OSSS plan like this. Normally, I put in the environment,
Hmm.
but we're just creating the template, right? Right, Shri? This is just
Yeah.
the template. We're going to generate it however we
Yeah.
want.
Yeah.
It's also going to be interesting to see where it kind of hides the secrets, which we even don't care about because they already persisted the secrets. We're good. Let's go generate what stages we want to persist this in, which is this is exciting. This is exciting, my friend. This is great.
Yeah. I
Okay.
think partly of our work will be split between provisioning project and the release project because all this, whatever we are creating now,
It's
is
it's
already part of the
provisioning.
provision. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it's basically saying since you're creating these new resources from scratch, let me create them for you. Okay, publish, generate. Nope, CI/CD. There it is.
Yeah.
So this here is beautiful, right? Because it's gonna go and generate that YAML file for me.
Hmm.
And is it gonna it's gonna create it in the branch that I'm in, right? It's not
Yeah.
gonna
Which you can
okay.
check in.
I see something here, Shri. Check this out. I see something here. OSSS API YAML. Ooh, look at that.
Mm.
Look at that. So this is where it's hiding all the secrets.
Yeah.
And Azure Web App Name, OSSS. So you see, this is another thing that I'm really glad we're doing because you can see the inconsistency here between the naming conventions in a
Hmm.
way, right? Someone might argue, say, well, this is a constant, this is an environment variable, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what env means. It means environment variable, and we
Hmm.
basically need to name these variables in a certain way. I don't know if we do. I think environment variables, at least in C Sharp, can be something like Azure Web App Name, something like that. You can
Hmm.
totally do that, and that would totally work. I don't know. Anyway, so this is why we're building, A.NET, right? To be able to kind of work with stuff like this and operate. Okay, now here's the question here. It's build and deploy, so it's still building again before it
Mm-hmm.
kicks the deployment. Do we
Yeah,
actually
it
need?
needs the binary to pick it up.
Yeah. Do you feel like this is like a redundant? No, it's not a
Uh,
redundant step.
mm,
I'll tell you why. Because the build will kick off when you are submitting a pull request. And you
yeah.
don't want to deploy with every single pull request that you run in. That doesn't make any sense, right?
Mm,
So I see now that this is just prepping up and running and making sure everything actually is in good state because it's possible that your master branch
mm-hmm.
has code in it that is not passing the tests.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's the case, then it's going to try to prevent that. Wow, look at this junk. This is YAML junk. Okay.
Yeah,
I
and
ha
maybe one more option that we'll have to explore is if there's a way that we can specify a specific bill number to
mhm.
trigger the release. So which will come in handy for rollback or testing a particular release and whatnot.
That's a great idea. That's a great idea. Okay, let's start simple. I feel like we're going to have a couple of sessions of these because,
Yes.
it seems like there's some work to be done. Let's start simple, Shri. Let's go to A.NET. And do you want to take it on your side? Do you want to start on your side or
Yeah.
do you want me to kick it off? Okay,
Sure.
go for it.
Share the screen.
You can specify the version, you can specify the configuration, and then you have a bunch of secrets. This is very, very interesting. Okay. All right. Back to
Yeah.
Shri.
So
Shri,
here we
increase
are.
increase the font on your screen. So go back to the go to the desktop and on the
Mhm.
display make it 150 since you're on a laptop. It should just work for you. Yeah, give it a shot, see if that works.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Display settings.
It's gonna be really large on your side,
Hmm.
but that's okay. I think it's worth teaching people these things and doing it live, right? Yeah.
Yeah. How about it? This works.
Screen is frozen. There's nothing showing yet. Oh, now it's much better. Yep, let's go. Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you. Yep.
Awesome. So we have our library here and the test project, the console that emits the YAML file, and the build project for the same A.NET's build, A.NET. Okay. So how we want to, do it upon the build or a separate one?
What does the services have? What's inside service? We have build, right? We need a release service. That's all.
Okay. So I think I will currently go with the folder for releases, and then I can have a code rep just to move these for the build.
Great idea. Great idea. Don't forget to
Users.
create a branch though.
Yep. Users, and we want to call this as foundation because we'll be working along with it, right?
Yep, that's a foundation.
Okay. What is that we want to do? End of the day, we still want to write to file, correct?
Yeah, really, the only difference is that. So if you go to the build real quick, you will notice something. It's taken a path and an
Mm-hmm.
object, which is the ADO pipeline, right? In your case, it'll be something very similar to that, except that it's taken a release pipeline instead of an ADO build pipeline. And by the way, we need to change that variable name into a build pipeline, but
Mm-hmm.
that's a code drop for later, right?
Yep.
It's
Yep.
exactly the same thing, path, but it takes a release pipeline. That's all.
So first we'll go with the interface. So I release those. Okay. So this is gonna be void. See.
Please update the copyright on that to say Hassan, Habib, and Sharif. Hamrida.
Okay. Yep. Noted
We're
down.
writing the code together, right? You're a real person, I think. Ha! Ha! Let's go.
Yeah. Okay, serialize to file, serialize and write to file because we're going to do both the operations, right? And then what we want is the path, and then we want the piece
Pipeline.
pipeline.
Okay, so one more thing for you. In C sharp, they don't use I don't know what they call them. What do you call the and or? Is it adjectives or something like that? I don't know. I don't know. It's not my language. But you know, you want to say release right. There's no and. Like when we say value task, it's actually value or task. Yeah. What do you think?
Sure.
Serialize right to file.
Yeah, coding language doesn't have to follow proper English grammar.
That's why you and I are really good at it. We don't speak English. Let's go. Great.
Okay, so services, lease service.
And this one is going to be partial for sure because of the exception handling,
Yep, true.
right?
Okay,
Mhm.
so the dependency that we have is with the YAML broker.
That's right. I think it's just file
Okay.
broker. Is it YAML broker? Oh,
Oh,
YAML
yeah.
serializer. That's right. That's right. Forgot how that worked. Yep. A while.
So
So the
file
files
broker
broker and YAML
and the
broker.
YAML broker.
That's
Okay,
correct.
file. We have our YAML broker. Okay.
Shri, you're getting faster and faster in doing this. It's gonna be harder to keep up with you. What's up with that? By the way, I think YAML comes before file. Do you have any objection?
The operation first that we are trying to do is serialization, and then we're writing to IO. So yeah, sounds good.
That's right. That's right.
Mhm. It's so easy when you are thinking in that way, right? So you don't have to break your head on what we need to do. If we are following a
Yep.
standard, which
Yep.
says what's your primary, what's your secondary based on the operation, this is
Yep.
going to be easy.
To be honest with you, come to think of it, the standard is a cure to release the anxiety engineers have where they spin their wheels, like, spin in circles like a chicken with its head cut off, running in circles, you know, what to do first and what's the standard way of doing things. I think that just takes care of that problem and says,
Yeah.
here's
And our brain power is just focused on the crucial, critical activity that's
that's the
required for the
point.
software.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it right there. What you just said. Okay,
Mhm.
well, do you want to hand this over to me in a branch? And I will write the validation stuff. What do you think about that?
Okay, sure.
Mm.
Let it go.
Okay, awesome. Thanks. Let me switch over. Let's see. A.NET taking over the screen.
Yeah, so I'm going to call it as service initialization.
Yeah, just say foundations. Oh yeah, initialize service, something like
Yeah,
that.
init and service initialization.
Yeah, sounds good.
Oh, I'm really looking for the git changes. It's not showing up.
I know why. Go back to your solution. It showed them in red, meaning that it actively ignored your files. Go back to your screen. Show you.
Yeah,
So there was a red mark on these files. Right click and say include in the project or something like that. So if you go to
it
Git,
says exclude.
okay, so go to Git and see if you can do an add to these files or something. No, no, no. In the menu, same menu that you were in, there was a try to go on the folder level and then do Git. Does it have, yeah, add ignored file to source control. There you go. I don't know why it's
Why is
ignored.
it ignoring?
I have no idea. I have no idea. It's either some rule someone added or something funny. It's still not there though. Go back to solution, Yeah, add the file itself. Like do the exact same thing you just did, but with the file itself. Yeah. Okay, that's
Oh,
one.
really? But this was red, but still this is not even okay.
It's not even a part of the. That really sucks. What's that all about? Yeah, now this file is okay. You're good. Yep.
This is the first time I'm seeing.
Yeah, me too. What's that? Okay,
Mm.
go, go. So you're there.
Yeah, over to you.
All right. Untabulous. Let's go back here. Back here. Okay. Are you able to see my screen?
Yeah, I can see it. Okay.
All right. Let's sync up. And okay, let's see your station releases. Pipelines, brokers, services, releases. Yay, I see your
Mhm.
stuff. Okay, perfect. There is hope. Okay, so what do we need here? We basically need to start with a simple test. Oh, where's the test? There it is. A simple test that will
Mhm.
basically tell me, so again, we're gonna need to do like foundations. By the way, Shri, we're gonna also need
Yeah,
to add a
I've noted down.
foundation.
Yep.
Okay, releases. Let's take
We
care of
optimize
that.
the code as we go, right?
Yes, yes. We just clean the code as we go. That's right. Absolutely 100%. This is release. So let's see. Release service tests.cs.
It's
Go.
still doing that to you.
What is?
The ignore thing.
Yeah, what happened? Did someone do something funny with the configuration? Let's go into a folder view and see what's going on. Maybe someone added edit config or something. I don't know. Maybe someone was doing some cleanup and they git added attributes. What is that? Who added that in there? I don't know
Why
what
is
this is.
this file?
I don't know if we need this file, but I know
Okay,
we need.
I'll note it down for
Yeah,
action.
that yeah,
Take
that's
care
not
of it.
yeah, we know how to solve it for now, but we really got to get rid of that nonsense. Okay.
Sure.
So here's add ignore files. Okay, so this is my service. Let's see here. Control KE. Then I need to mock some stuff. So private, read only, and mock. We said serialization, so I YAML
Yeah.
broker, YAML broker mock, and private read only mock I file broker, I think.
Files.
Files broker, that's right. Broker. Then private read only I release service.
Hmm.
This is release service. And that's CTOR, this guy. And then YAML broker mock. Files broker mock. Let's go. And then there's dot release service equal new release service. Yes, yes, yes. YAML broker. There's dot YAML broker. It was there for a second, and then it just disappeared. What do you? That's ridiculous. So let's
I
go.
wish there's a point where this AI thing reads across projects and suggests, hey, you're not mocking the object, you're not following the standard.
Be careful what you wish for. It might happen. You're
Yeah.
not too far. It might. It might. It might actually happen, Shri. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yikes. Anyway, so let's create a random object. So we need a random string first, a private static string create random string, and this is a new mnemonic string, yeah, and then get value, and let's add a bunch of numbers in it. So private static int get random number. And this is a new, what was it, Shri? The
Int
random,
range.
yeah, int range. That's right. Int range. Thank you. Range value. Let's do max min 2, max 10, exclusive. So it would go from 2 to 9, right, on this one. And
Yeah, just curious to know what's the use of number. I see the need for the string for the path.
in here, the string, the number, oh, to add a bunch of words, like word count,
Okay.
right?
But
Like,
file path, do you think
yeah,
spaces are allowed?
yeah, you could have a folder that has spaces in it. Like you can go and say something like this, users,
Hmm.
Hassan, Habib, slash, right?
Yeah, wondering what's the scope of test? We just need a random string, right? Do we really want to worry about the format of the string if it's having multiple words or not?
We sh we should probably dig deeper
Hmm.
and we should find a regex to validate whether the given path of the file is valid or not. But we could start simple and then, walk towards a
Yeah,
more.
or maybe rely on the IO system IO function itself, throw an exception if it's an invalid path and rely on that so that we don't have intelligence repeated here.
Well, I don't even know if that's a thing. Like, let's
Okay,
see.
got it. Hmm.
Ooh, let's see. No, no, no. I want to know. I want to know. Now you got
Yeah.
my curiosity. So, okay, let's see. IOs, file broker. Let's just see here. A private void, whatevs. And then let's see. Is there actually, that would be nice actually. File dot path directory. Maybe it's directory dot validate defined. Nope. How about that directory info? That would be a variable. And then, yeah, not that I know of. If you can find something,
Yeah, I was
uh,
wondering if when we are writing like file.write all text, inbuilt there's a validation for the path itself, maybe.
there is. Is that what we relied on? I wonder if that's what we relied on here. Let's take a look. Releases, release service. No, that's build service, validations. Yeah, it's just going and saying if it's null, blow up. That's it. That's all it
Hmm.
cares about. So, we might need to go deeper, but the path, if the path is not okay, I think we take care of that exception in here, like argument null exception. This is all coming from the broker.
Yeah, argument exception, path too
Yeah,
long. Yeah.
yeah. So I think that validation is already there outside of the box, right? But we could add our own validation as well.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to an external resource, it makes sense. Wow, we really handled all the different nice. I love this. I like this a lot. Security exception, everything. Okay, I like that. But by the way, there is no localization categorization going on here.
Oh, yep. Got it.
So what's that all about, right? I
Yeah, people are
mean,
watching this video. You have a lot of opportunity for code rubs for whatever you
yep,
have learned
yep.
so far. Because there's never a chance that you can do localization and categorization until you have a full-fledged foundation service. If you want to grab this opportunity, go for it.
Yep, yep. This is all yours. Go for it. So anyway, okay, let's go to let's go to this one. So okay, so this will give me just a random string, whatever string is in there. I
Okay.
also need a random object. Now here comes the interesting part. We kept it as an object on the build service. We kept it here at the level of the object. Oh, we even created an ASP pipeline as a test instead of actually testing. Okay, let's do this real quick. Let's go into models. Whoa, look at that. ADO models, GitHub pipeline. Oh, we're gonna need to clean up a lot of things. Releases, GitHub pipelines, and then under that I need the, wow, this is expanding now. GitHub release pipeline. Okay, we'll do it together. No problem. This is really annoying, by the way.
Yeah.
The whole seriously, what's going on there? So GitHub release pipeline. Okay, so I have this guy. Okay, and then why is it not adding? I'll let you take care of that. 'Cause I didn't know how to I didn't
Yeah.
know how to spell your last
It's
name, Shri. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. It's okay. Private, static, filler. Let's see. GitHub release pipeline. This is create create GitHub release pipeline filler. There isn't really nothing there, so it's just new filler release pipeline, and then I'm gonna go here and say, well, we do pass the path first, so I guess the path wins, and then public static GitHub release pipeline create random release pipeline. I was hanging out with these guys, Ricky and Elbik from Uzbekistan, and we did this live share,
yeah, I
Shri.
took a look at it. Yeah.
You saw it? So
I missed the
it
fun.
was, it was,
I,
it was,
yeah.
it was, it just went crazy. It just went out of control. But it was pretty cool. Like you were trying things. I haven't, to be honest with you, Shri, I have not tried the live share in a long, long time. I don't know what happened to it, but it
Hmm.
worked. It worked for
Yeah.
us. It
Yeah.
did
And
something.
it's so energetic when you I know in the comments also they shared, right?
Yep.
You are working on a program. When you are following a standard and your mind is eased just to focus on the core areas, it's like fun, right? You just
Yep.
enjoy the work.
Yep, people are not stressed out. Oh my God, is this we're doing this right or wrong? And then there's this awkward silence. It's just there's like, not very healthy, static in the air that
Yeah.
people are just sitting there saying,
And when something is not right, it gradually, I mean, eventually it strikes you that, oh, no, something is not right, right?
right, right. Yeah, I agree. I couldn't agree more. Yeah, it's just not okay. Okay. You want a failing test? Is that what you want? Okay. You should see, like, I have this friend of mine. She joined a new team, and and one of the things that people was it you? I don't know, but it probably was you. You know, uh, something about people just having a hard time with tests. And I
Mhm.
understand why people hate tests, Shri. I know why people hate tests um, um, because if the test is not clear and clean and
Mhm.
focused on a particular purpose, it's gonna be really daunting and like this heavy weight. Like, see, do you feel a heavy weight writing a test? No, we're chatting and writing a test, right?
Mhm.
So, I think I think just simplifying things would be. I have so much fun trying to kind of bring people up back to this state, but we'll see. So, do we ask for the file first, or do we ask? Yeah, we do ask for the path first. Sure. Okay, fine. Yeah. So here you go. String, random path, get random, create random string. Was it get random string or create random string?
Create.
I input path, and this is random path. Okay. And then you have GitHub release line. That's this guy. This is random GitHub release. This is really exciting. I'm really happy we're finally doing this because, this was one thing that was just hanging. This and security. If I can just do these, I can now go play with Brian Parker on the, message hub stuff because
Hmm.
he's trying to also research and standardize that area. He's putting a lot of energy into it. I really appreciate that guy. He's all right. He's good. He said, there isn't a specific way to show people how to do this, and it's a very interesting topic to kind of tackle. So I can't wait. can't wait to see what that's gonna look like. Okay.
And the typo in input
Yeah, that's what
GitHub
that
release pipeline
yeah,
and random. Yep.
that's why it didn't let me GitHub release
Yeah.
input GitHub.
Pipeline E for the pipe.
That's it.
Yep.
Okay. You guys, pair programming. It's really fun. Okay, and what do we spit from the other side? Nothing really. It's just a side effect kind of function. Okay, that makes sense. So this dot service. Side effect meaning it doesn't really return anything, but it does things behind the scene. So you see how you're returning a void. That's really what it is, right?
Hmm.
Input path and input GitHub release pipeline. It's a little bit has a this one has a little belly. Let's bring it back into perspective. And then what do we expect here, Shri? We expect that something is going
The
to come back.
dependencies are called.
Yeah, so something has to come back from the YAML broker, right? So let's set up, sorry, not set up. Oh, we actually do need to set this up because we need whatever comes back from
Yep.
that,
For the
that will
YAML.
be
Yes.
serialized as a string, right? So that means basically we can go here and say, let's see, there's one more in here because we're working backwards. So this is random serialized pipeline, random string. This is serialized GitHub pipeline, and that will be the random serialized pipelines. This is the trick here. Okay, so now, excuse me. Now that we have those, we need to do a little setup in here. So this dot log. See, I try not to look at how I implemented things because you might come up with a new way that's better than
Yep.
the one before. Otherwise, you're not growing, right? This is the
Yep.
biggest mistake. Unless you're super tired, not in the mood, you really want to push through, sure. But, I hope that doesn't happen often, but also this is the only way you can examine whether your brain is growing. Are you evolving or devolving, right? Are you
Hmm.
actually doing something or not? So this will be the input GitHub release pipeline, and then in here we'll return zero. Look at the magic. Okay, perfect. So now verify, 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 and this is the broker. Broker. See, we can build anything according to the standard. Library, UI, backend, front, doesn't matter, right? Could be
Hmm.
anything. Input release pipeline, and this guy should have been called at least times once. Here you go, times once. Then this dot file broker, verify that the broker has been called with write to file, which has the path, which is the input path, and the serialized pipeline times once. And then Gamma broker VNO. You should have seen the look on Ricardo's face when I said to him, "Hey, can you type VNO?" He's like, did you just say that? Did that actually, is that actually a thing? I'm like, yeah, it even highlights, like, see the drop down, it highlights the V and N and O. They're
Yeah.
bold. Like, no. I was like, yes. I love entertaining engineers this way. Just going around showing them tricks. Just tricks and be like,
Yeah,
oh, look.
when I saw that video, I remembered whenever games are being played, you have a live commentator,
Yep.
just
Yep.
summarizing it, making it light and all those things. I felt that mode.
Yep, yep. I told them, I said, okay, guys, if you're gonna pair together, then I'm gonna be just, a cheerleader. I'm just gonna cheer both of you, and you just have fun, and I'll just engage whenever, I need to. But otherwise, I think we should be good. All right, Shri, it seems like you got comfortable. Here's a failing test for you.
Wait, fewer in changes, fewer in stage. Hold on.
Uh,
I see few files.
it's okay. I staged and pushed all of them.
Then what are these changes?
Hell, why didn't it include that stuff? Are these all are they ignored as well? No, they're not. Mend, add, push all. gonna freak out now and say sync. Oh my God. Okay. And now we have conflicts. Done. Keep current. Yep. And now I have a merge for no reason whatsoever. I
Code
don't know.
rub merge. Come on. Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Sorry. There you go. So
Okay, I'm
now
taking the share.
this screen. This is really annoying. All right, you're it. Go for it. One.
Okay, so let me get it out. So when do we work on the models?
Very soon.
Mm-hmm.
Really soon.
Yep.
The thing is that this services part doesn't really care. We need acceptance test that runs end to end and then validates the actual outcome.
Oh, why is
Or
it passing?
you get latest
Yeah.
and you click on view, see the last commit.
It's only the
So,
build.
so unless it's saying 7, you're not in the right place. So let's see. Oh, well, unload and reload. Well, go to the 0/0 and go to view commits.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has my
This.
stuff. What the hell? Then just unload and reload the solution.
Okay. It's taking a toll on us today, on a Sunday.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Just. It's like you suckers. It's a Sunday. Go take a break. Go for a walk or something. Go get a life. It's not letting us. You know. Okay. Let's reload.
6.
Oh my God, Shri, we seriously need to find out the deal with. There's a file. It's still ignored. The test file. Now pull again. Just one more time.
Oh, yeah. The file is not there. Oh, Mike. Okay. Cool.
Sorry, I go on mute because I'm eating, but
Yeah, yeah,
but
sure.
that's the seventh file. There's
Yes,
some.
this here.
Yeah. So what happened is that I didn't include it, and it said to me, "Oh, you committed everything. You're fine. You're fine."
Mm.
No, I'm not. All right, cool. Hey, out of curiosity, can you look at the older test? Does it look exactly the same as the older test, or did I go a little
Yep.
over?
Let's take a look at it.
Thanks.
So this is our logic where we say we serialize and write it to the one.
Ah, look, it's pretty much the same.
We created the model, we created the
Except except
path.
except that I made a mistake there. See that serialized pipeline? I didn't randomize it. So see, the newer me is better than the older me. Good job. Good job, Hassan.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yep.
All right,
Yeah, it looks
cool.
like we have something for random file path. That's something different from what we have done so far. But this is the same things. Yeah, we're just using two different ones. Okay. Okay, here we are. So the expectation is to call the YAML broker, and then we're going to save it as string serialized pipeline.
That's right.
All this curve serialize of release line. Here what we want to do is, and we call the file broker to generate the file, right?
Absolutely,
Okay, so
100%.
this one takes in data. Then I would like to parameter alias. Is that okay?
Nice. Yeah, because it's different. Like it's not in part or in full
Mhm.
similar in any way, shape, or form. I'm okay with that. Hmm.
Yep. And this is an object that's general, which should be fine.
Hmm.
Right? Okay, let's see now if this is happy here. Yeah,
Yay!
good. Mm-hmm. Hey, this is the pass. Let's move on to.
Now we just need a validation test that if the path or
Mhm.
the path or the object are null, then we freak out. That's all. That validations. Mm.
Okay, there.
Hmm.
Public void. Shit, shit through. My fingers are running. Gross. Nation exception on serial serialize. Right. Is it okay to say serialized, right?
Yeah,
Right.
and
If
there is no logging, so it's
yeah,
just
if path is null,
yep, yep,
okay. Given the good is so this is going to be an action where we validate, right? So action serialize action. The tab is auto completing.
yep. Some magic. It's doing some magic for you.
And it's going to be so path and some these pipeline. So in case of here, how do you want to localize the exceptions? Do you want to keep it specific for the release null path exception, or we can have that one as a generic one? What are your thoughts?
So you'll just pass a null path. That's all invalid path, right? It's invalid. It's not null. It's null when we're returning it, right? But because we're passing it as a parameter, let's call it invalid, right?
Invalid path.
Yeah.
So then we'll have to check for all combinations, right? No,
Well,
since I,
there's only invalid path or invalid release. That's it. There's nothing else out there. They're just
yeah,
two
I was
parameters.
thinking since this test case is very much specific for just this test data, when we are having intelligence like okay null string empty white space not in a file format or something like that, then it can
Oh,
be a name of invalid path.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. Maybe if we evolve as we go forward, but it's still invalid, right? We still call them invalid, right? We
Yeah,
say null
same
only.
stand. Mhm.
Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go
The
ahead.
same standard where we have in our entities, we say null student exception and then we say invalid student exception, right?
Right.
Something of that
Oh,
sort.
so you want to call it null, huh? Want to call it null? Let's discuss this. It might be a good idea. Let's discuss this later. It might be, I might lean into that, Shri. Not too bad.
Okay. Mhm.
It's a very solid argument.
Okay, so now coming to our exception, we already have null path exception. Do we want to split that saying null path build exception, null path release exception?
So this will be just null release path exception. We unfortunately we used the null path exception on the other ones. We should be a little bit more specific in terms of release versus, and we can even restrict people in terms of where they put these files based on the server, but not now. We can grow into that direction, but we don't have to.
Okay. And here we don't want to categorize it because this is just one single layer, right?
Well, you're still gonna throw a validation exception, right? You still have to categorize,
Hmm.
right? Yeah.
So mm, who's the consumer? The exposer is the consumer?
The exposer, yes, that would be the command line that runs. There's no controllers, right? And then the exposer will go and run this and say, yeah, well, this is a categorized an example. We don't know what we're gonna do upstream from there, but we keep all the services at the exact same standard and exact same fashion. So if we want to build on top of them, they're already ready with categorized and localized exceptions.
Okay, don't have it here. How is this library doing?
What the exception? Not too bad. Almost 8,000. It's everywhere.
Okay, thing that we want here is release path is null. Then now we want to categorize. Good. Validation exception.
Expand.
Exception.
Yep. Is it what's our service called? GitHub release pipeline, or is it just release service exception?
Release service.
Oh, then it's release validation exceptions.
Yeah, we want to stay neutral, right?
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah, I'm good with
can
that. Really good with that.
uh okay, let's say if we are extending it right now, we have this Azure that we are trying out.
If you
Let's say we are
extend, you're
going to
gonna have
use
if you extend, you have two options. Either you differentiate based on the namespace, which is really crappy. Let's not do that. Because if you differentiate based on the namespace of both models with the same name are happen to need to exist at the same place at the same time, then you're gonna have to use namespace aliases, which is really also not my favorite thing to do. For now, Shri, we don't have a reason to. So we're not gonna
okay.
pre-optimize. We're just gonna go and say it's a
Yep.
release.
Do you want to say fix the errors? Is happy. Yeah, this is something I was trying to wonder. Why is the nested one looking for that?
For the build.
So here
Hmm.
had reference to exception, right?
Yeah. The type exception is defined in an assembly that is not referenced. You must add a reference to assembly exception version blah. Is it
It's
is it
looking for
def
that in the test project as well.
right? If you do a build, it might just copy it over. Does it? Did it
Oh,
work?
there's another where deducted package downgrade fluent
That
version.
just upgrade all of them. We probably haven't upgraded these libraries in a while.
Okay, anyway, that error is gone.
Yeah,
So,
it was just looking for the DLL that hasn't been copied over yet.
okay. So here I'm gonna say assert rows, and I'm expecting the wrapper validation exception and action. And what else? Just the dependency calls.
Hmm. Hmm.
Oh, yeah. Maybe, oh, maybe. Then next dependency is the file broker. I really like it's trying to give
Yep, it's
variable
trying to
names
do
that
the
are
work
making
for you.
sense.
Yep, yep.
Right. String. The end of this down, but it's not happy here. Okay, this takes in two things. All right. Okay, this one complete. On the test. Okay, let me do this then. Manage updates. Detected package downgrade.
Yeah, so go on the solution level, the
Mhm.
solution itself, and just upgrade everybody.
I did. It's expecting a downgrade.
Why? Downgrade why? That's weird. Detected package downgrade phone search. Is your test done? If your test is done, just give it to me. I'll try to figure it out.
Oh, okay, got it.
Well, it won't run,
Hmm.
but the test is done, so I'll try to.
Yep. Oh, it did. I think maybe it's some temporary issue.
Just give it to me. I'll take care of it.
Yep. No exception is thrown.
Nice. My turn.
Oh, see again.
Needed null release path exception.
Oh, did you take the screen share? Wait,
Not
I
yet.
have a
I just.
pain in I have a pain now.
Oh my God. Where did this come from? How did this happen?
Git add This one is going to be git play. Hopefully this works.
Jeez, crazy.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
now when I did that, it's treating that one as staged, and whatever I did later
Mm.
is not being accepted.
This is annoying. Should probably get rid of that get file that was in there. I don't think that file is doing the right thing, to be honest.
Yep. Over to you.
All right, my turn. Let's do this. So here is this guy. Think. Is this Surface Book still slow? A little? No?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. All right, let's see here if this guy works. I think I pulled your changes. I think. Not reference, but must blah. Okay, let me do a rebuild. Something is weird with Visual Studio today. Or succeeded. Okay, and then run. Weird. Okay, I think it was a book. I don't know if a book or an article. It's called back from the old days. It was called DLL Hell, and it talks about DLL versioning and those dynamic linked libraries, and they're fun. There's fun happening with them. Okay, so serial as well. Okay, great. Let's go here and let's say validate inputs. It's your path, and that's your release pipeline. Great. And then
Not
let's
yeah, and not too much, just the path for now.
okay. Well, I'm not gonna put that guy in yet. No, it works. That's fine. Validate path.
Oh, I yeah, validate input and just the path as the parameter, the release pipeline. Yeah.
Okay. Path. Let's do that. And then let's copy this guy. Paste it in here. Okay. Dot validations. Then also we want the exceptions. Do that. And we want that to be completely guy and add a couple of private static void validate path is null. No new null path, null release path exception. Like music. I know why they call it C sharp, if writing musical notes with the language. Really friendly, user-friendly language, which I really appreciate. Now let's go ahead and say private delegate void returning nothing function. Private static, well, private void try catch returning nothing function. Try catch, and then returning nothing function. Here we go. What exception are we catching? Null path, null release path. And we are just taking that guy and saying throw new um, release validation exception, I think. I think that's what try catch. Okay. Look at your test again. You went and said write to file, never, never, and then this release path, release validation exception happened. Okay. Okay, this works, but I'm not super
Oh, wait,
crazy
it's not
about.
checked in
Hmm?
the files again.
Are you serious? Come on, man. This is ridiculous. Okay.
Stage. Yep.
All right, let's do this. Let's take this guy. Let's steal Shri's work. Just go here and say we want to throw validation exception on serialize right if object if pipeline is null. Invalid pipeline null, and this is some. Oh no, happy. That's good. Oh, you made your. How did you even? Oh, because it's saying it's an object. Yeah, that's
Object. Oh, yeah. That's
easy.
right.
The guy you're pairing with is asleep. That's why you didn't catch this one. Taking a nap. Getting older and crazier. Okay. Okay, and lead pipeline, and this is some.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Mm,
invalid pipeline, do we want to call it as GitHub release pipeline instead of data type string?
yeah, good idea. Valid GitHub. There's extra empty space in here. Validation, and this is null release pipeline. Let's go add a model in here. Exception. God, what did I? Go Control KE. Take care of the garbage, and don't forget to add this guy because why make our lives hard? Okay, so this is this. That's the only file that I added. And then if I go back here, this guy should fail, I think.
Yeah. And line 59, the variable name can still be changed.
Invalid release pipeline.
Null release pipeline exception.
That's right. So that's that. Here is a test. Okay, Shri, you're it. Yay. You get to do stuff.
Stage. Wait. Yeah.
All right, you're it.
Okay. Okay. Let's check input. Okay. Take it up here. Input here and GitHub. Then If the first one is checking if the pipeline is going to be null.
Yep. This is pattern matching. Yep.
Mm, no pipeline exception.
Nice.
Okay. This is an object
Oh, you don't have the, yeah, right.
to
Yep.
catch it. So, okay.
All right. Let's do it. All
Okay.
right. So let's put a stop here and do
Mm-hmm.
another session where we do two things: handle the rest of the exceptions, but also create the model. What do you think about that? Because the
Yep.
model is going to take a little bit of time. Create a draft branch so I can share that in our YouTube session. But other than that, hey, thank you. This was fun.
Oh, yes. And we have a lot of opportunities for revamping our code.
A
Yep.
lot, a lot. I'll try to create some of these issues, on the repository, but as long as the library is functional and we're just cleaning it from within, we should be in good state. And for people watching us, if you have any questions, comments, concerns for me or Shri, feel free to drop a comment in the comment section. I hope this was fun for you and learning something. And don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in another
Okay.
video.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shri. Bye.
Bye.